Hello, this is Chek. Welcome back to my video blog. Today I'd like to share some concepts on the diet-hormone connection and just some things continuing on from my last blog that I thought might be helpful as we're talking about individualizing eating, how much should I eat, and all those relevant things. What you see here is a list of the three main classes of hormones based on the construction of the hormone molecule. So what this means is that if you take all the hormones in the body and break them down by what they're made of, you get three classes of hormones. Now, I'll give you some examples. So first of all, a glycoprotein means that that hormone has carbohydrate molecules and amino acids stuck together to create a construct called a glycoprotein hormone. So the hormones that are made in that class all have some kind of a functional relationship between a carbohydrate molecule and an amino acid or a protein, if you will. Amino acids are derivatives of proteins. So here we have luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, and the thyroid hormones. I'm not sure if all the thyroid hormones, T3, T4, etc., are all there, but as a general rule of thumb, that's thyroid hormones. Then we have protein peptides, which means these things are made completely of amino acids, no fats or lipids, no carbohydrates. So you have gonadotropic releasing hormone, growth hormone, insulin-like growth factor, and glucagon are examples. Now these lists, if they were exhaustive, would be long because there's a lot of hormones that could go on the list, but I think you'll get the point as I unwind the show. Next, we have fats or lipoproteins, which means you have a fat molecule connected to amino acids to make a lipoprotein hormone. By the way, all steroid hormones are lipoprotein hormones. Okay, so in that list we see DHEA, which is a key regulating hormone that works constantly in balance with, or gets out of balance with, your glucocorticoid stress hormones, or cortisol. We have estrogen, which would be the estrogens, progesterone, testosterone, and glucocorticoids. Your glucocorticoids, there's more than one of them. If I remember right, there's like 3 or more derivatives, approximately 3 derivatives of your glucocorticoids. Cortisone, cortisol, those are the ones that come off the top of my head. So that's why it says glucocorticoids, because there's more than just one. There's more than just cortisol. Now, very, very importantly, notice that your lipoproteins are your steroid, which is your growth and repair hormones, your anabolic recovery hormones, and your stress hormones, which are not only stress hormones, cortisol is your chief anti-inflammatory hormone. So remember that a huge percentage of the world population would be considered to be living in a stressful lifestyle, whether it be diet imbalances, lifestyle imbalances, financial stress, lack of exercise, poor health, poor breathing quality, environmental stressors. So we have a big issue here because if you look at what are the top selling drugs in the world, they're anti-inflammatories. So if people are having to buy anti-inflammatories, it means that their body's own anti-inflammatory system is unable to, shall we say, manage the inflammation being created by the choices that individual's making with diet, quiet, movement, and happiness. Okay? So the key foundation of what I'm wanting to share today is that in order for your body to manufacture all the hormones you need to feel good and function well, you have to have the nutrient resources not only in your diet, but you have to be able to digest, metabolize, assimilate, and eliminate all those foodstuffs. In other words, even if you're eating the right foodstuffs to give the basic building blocks, if you cannot digest, metabolize, assimilate, or eliminate for any reason, you could show all sorts of hormonal deficiency symptoms and could end up on a large wild goose chase going all over town to lots of doctors with hormone patches and shots and pills and you name it. So one thing is getting your diet right, but another thing is studying the resources that I share and the resources of other experts on the topic, such as gut healing, and getting clear about how your digestion's doing. In my book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, there's questionnaires right in there that give you like a clear look at what's going on inside of you so you know what needs to be addressed, and I show you how to address that. So basically, in summary, what I've said is that all the hormones in the body can be broken into 3 classes based on the construction of the hormone, and I've said that we must have the resources in our diet for the body to effectively not only meet its own physiological functional needs, in other words, maintaining everything that's there, but manufacturing new chemicals, new hormones, in order to carry out your actions, choices, thoughts, emotions, experiences, and, you know, recover from your new day, your new exercise program, your new, you know, day in the garden or fall off the horse. So, key point here, number 1, diet is the primary source of hormone-building resources. I've talked over and over again, as many of you know, about the concept that there's no such thing as the right diet to be on. There's too many variables that change in any one of our lives, from our exercise programs to the level of toxicity in the environment, to our emotional state, to our mental state, to challenges of work, relationships, weather, sleep quality. I mean, when you study how the body really responds to stress and how it changes with exercise, and the genetic relationships and the individual needs, and the studies by people like Roger Williams in his book, I think it's called Clinical Biochemistry, Roger Williams, PhD, shows the radical variations in each individual, even amongst the same family. We must, at some point, be fortunate enough, I hope, to grasp an understanding that says, hey, you know, there's really only one way out of this diet box. I mean, when I wrote the book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, there was 4,369 books on diet that I could find on the internet in a few seconds, which means, wow, we're either obviously geniuses and we know everything about diet, which means everybody should be healthy, or we're very, very confused, and I say it's the latter. The kind of the joke of the whole thing is that it's actually really simple. There's only one way out of the box, and that's to have a relationship with yourself. That's to actually pay attention. Geez, when I drink this much coffee, I get a headache. When I drink coffee, or since I started drinking coffee, my menstrual cycle's been painful and irregular. Wonder what happens if I take the coffee out. But no, that's not what happens. My painful menstrual cycle leads me to the doctor, who gives me more pills, while I get more and more addicted to coffee and more adapted to coffee, needing more and more cups, which drives my body out more and more, screws my hormones up even more and more, which causes me to get stronger and stronger prescriptions, and then I lose my sex drive, then my husband's upset, then I'm in a premenopausal crisis, then I'm, you know, the whole show, right? But it all boils down to that initial observation. My hormonal system's not working right, or my menstrual cycle's not working right. What's different? Coffee's different. Okay, good, pay attention. If you eat a bag of chips and you get pimples from it, you say, well, what's in there? Well, I've been eating potatoes all my life. It's an organic bag of potato chips. I've been eating potatoes all my life, but they haven't given me pimples. But canola oil is in there. Holy shit. Well, next time I eat something with canola oil, I'm going to see how my skin reacts. And lo and behold, what do you learn? Anything with canola oil is likely to cause you to have skin problems. Seen it over and over and over again. Even me, I can't deal with this stuff, right? But look, how many articles on how great canola oil is? They're all over the world, right? Well, you can read the articles, you can look in the mirror. You can do just what I said in my book, you can look at your poops. Your poops tell a whole story about you. But people don't even want to look at their own poop, let alone deny how terrible it smells or all that good stuff. So, it's about getting to know yourself. Now, protein deficiency leads to sugar cravings. Interesting, years ago I did a lot of work with migraine headache patients, and I found an interesting connection. I worked with Dr. John Rothrock, who was the head of the neurology and stroke department at UCSD Medical Center. And he referred me people that they weren't making results, getting good enough results with. So I had a lot of people sent to me with very, very serious head, neck, and jaw pain complexes and serious headache problems and all sorts of wild and crazy stuff. And I found through using my assessment that I use, which is largely the system I teach, many of these people were not only eating incorrectly, but they were not getting enough what I would call real protein. They might have been getting, protein out of cans and out of shakes and all this stuff, but it was not something that was effective at making the hormones in their body, because I can change a lot of these people's symptoms or get rid of them by improving the quality of the food they're eating, the variety they're eating, and showing them how to fine-tune their diet for their own body. But lo and behold, what I found is a lot of these people, looking at diet logs, are eating a lot of sugar, a lot of carbohydrate, a very common theme amongst migraine headache patients. So I did some research, and I found actual research showing that when a person is protein deficient because they're not getting enough of it in their diet, such as low levels of starvation, malnutrition, or like I said, people eating food that can't digest it properly can have the same thing as starvation. You can have malnutrition if you have a gut disorder like a parasite dysfunction. See it every day. Fungal infections can do that to you too. So what we found in the research, or what I found in this research and I observed in my patients, is that they showed that the body will cause sugar cravings specifically to trigger an elevation of insulin, because insulin turns out to be the optimal hormone for carrying amino acids across the blood-brain barrier so that the brain can use the amino acids in the brain cells to manufacture various hormones and neurotransmitters and catecholamines and all the neat things that are made from amino acids. So it's a very important point to remember that a lot of sugar cravings can be coming from a lack of protein that is bioavailable to you. You may be eating lots, but you may not be digesting, metabolizing, assimilating, or eliminating it effectively, all of which works in a circle. Poor elimination leads to poor digestion, etc. Okay? So one of the key things is you can look at the research and the new understanding, and some of it ancient understanding, such as Ayurveda, on the relationship between taste and satiation. My assistant and manager here, Vidya McNeil, who's standing behind the camera right now, just wrote a blog about that on the Chek Institute blog. So if you go to Chek Institute, CHEKinstitute.com, you can look at the blog and read her article on taste and satiation there and learn some neat things that can help you control your eating and give you a better opportunity to learn what it is that you're after, because each of those tastes actually represents a grouping of foods or types of foods that have specific types of nutrition, such as salt. Salty things have salty minerals in them. So there you go. Cows like salt. Okay? Fat and protein deficiency, which often means cholesterol deficiency, leads to stress steroid hormone deficiency. So we have a fat craze worldwide. We have all sorts of people today that, now we're in a paradox because we have a rising paleo consciousness, a rising primal consciousness, a rising fat consciousness. Then in the middle we have people that just eat whatever the hell they want, no matter where it came from. Then on the other end we have, shall we say, the fat-phobic consciousness, and that can range from all classes. So we've got this kind of spectrum of everybody's got this other opinion, but again, are you paying attention? My point here is that a lot of the problems that people have with adrenal challenges and steroid hormone development challenges can be brought back to issues of fat deficiency. I've had many, mostly female, but many female athletes who are world-class athletes training very, very hard, living off what I would call rabbit food, who will only eat skinned chicken breast, or will only eat fish, or will only eat eggs or whatever. I've seen everything under the sun. But when you don't get enough cholesterol resource, cholesterol is the building block of all your steroid hormones, then you get a real tough situation because your body does not have the resources to repair itself. And so one of the things that happens is your body starts to eat itself. So your body has to get the resources from somewhere. So you can easily find yourself losing muscle mass while trying to follow what you think is a good diet based on some expert, while also exercising. And I've seen many athletes have these problems. They usually end up coming to me because they're not able to recover from an injury. And that's when I find out they don't have the resources to recover from the injury. So these are all very, very important concepts to understand, and we can all go a long way by remembering that we have a lot of people being told that they have high cholesterol. But if you look at the fact that straight up hormonal fact and logic, the more stress you're under, the more cholesterol you need to manufacture stress hormones. The more physical stress you're under, the more cholesterol you need to manufacture anabolic hormones. So then if you say, well, what's the HDL Ldl ratio? Well, that goes right down to the source of the food that you're eating. If you eat high-fat, sick animals, then you're probably going to have a screwed-up cholesterol ratio. But if you're eating high-quality animals and high-quality foods with cholesterol in them and high-quality saturated fats, then you're going to have adequate good cholesterol and your body gets rid of what it doesn't need. Cholesterol is also very important for cleaning the liver. The body that doesn't have enough cholesterol can't keep itself clean. So we need to be very careful about what the books say and what the television commercials say, because oftentimes we get totally lost without having enough understanding of how the body really works. So the danger is you believe a lot of this stuff. Okay? So that's my little discussion on the diet-hormone connection. So Primal Pattern Diet Typing is a webinar you can get from the Chek Institute where I teach you how to use muscle testing, diet logging, and what I call soul connection, connecting to your inner consciousness to be guided so you know what to eat from meal to meal, day to day, etc. Another key thing I talk about in my book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, is 4-day rotation dieting to make sure you get adequate food variety. Many people suffer from lack of variety. I found research years ago saying that the average person ate 12 foods their entire lifetime. Vidya was doing research recently and she found a study said the average person eats 15 foods their entire lifetime, neither of which is nearly enough. There's over 1 million edible animals, and there's or something like that, a huge amount, and there's 350,000 edible plants last time I looked into it. So 12 to 15 foods just never going to do it. Okay? So I show you how to do rotation dieting to support your immune system, increase nutrient availability and variety. Gut and digestive health, as I talked about, is critical. And then there's fungal and parasite infections, which about 90+% of the population worldwide has now been found to have through various studies. And both of those things there are related to low vitality levels, high stress levels, often digestive health problems and imbalances in the diet, and also many mental emotional problems play into that. And in my DVD program, Healing Fungal and Parasite Infections, I give you a very comprehensive 4-doctor approach, including herbs you can use, where to find homeopathics, and where to find experts if you have a serious case. And that's, again, the DVD set through ChekInstitute.com. Stress level management is very important because it doesn't matter if you're eating a perfect diet. The number one cause of disrupted digestion or leaky gut syndrome is stress. So if you're eating great food, but you don't know how to manage yourself internally, then you're always going to be facing doctor's challenges, and they're going to look at you and say, I can't believe this person's not feeling well, because they look like Laird Hamilton on paper, and they should be healthy, strong, and vital. Okay? So the 1, 2, 3, 4 for overcoming addiction, obesity, and disease takes you through a deeper healing process to try to identify what it is that you're doing to cause your stress and how you can change that. Finally, for those of you that are ready to learn a lot of very practical applications and deeper understandings, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy is the basic training, and then in HLC 1 we take you deeper into the actual practice of these things, teach you how to work in and how to put a lot of things together that are beyond the book but inclusive of the book, so you have a working manual and great training from a very skilled instructor on how to go ahead and apply this stuff on a daily basis. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helps you see things with a little bit more logic and rationale. And I look forward to sharing again with you soon.